Welcome to another episode of The Locker Room. I'm Will Compton. I'm here with Josh Pate, Taylor Lewan. Boys, rivalry week. Throw the data, throw everything out the window. This is all about pride. Maybe you're a fan somewhere thinking your team doesn't have a shot. Say you're Ole Miss, Mississippi State fan out there. For some reason, you think you don't have a shot. This week, you have a shot. With all the drama around Lane Kiffen, there's a shot. Bama, Auburn. Maybe you're an Auburn fan right now thinking you have no shot. Bama's playing to get in the SEC title game. You have a shot, Auburn. Texas A&M, Texas is going to be fireworks. Vandy, Tennessee is going to be fireworks. And then we have the game. Looking at my guy over there, Taylor
The only
Lewan.
one that matters.
The only one that matters to a certain somebody. It is going to be the most exciting game of the weekend. Maybe you're a Georgia Tech fan thinking you might not have a shot. You don't have a shot against Georgia. We have 16 games we are breaking down today. Here's their standings from last week. All 3-2. We're all sitting there right around here. So what do? We're gonna throw 16 games in the machine and figure it out this weekend. If you are watching right now, make sure you are subscribed. If you are listening on audio, Google, Amazon, Spotify, Apple, just make sure you are following this channel. Leave comments, big hugs, tiny kisses. Let's have a show. Boys, welcome to The Locker Room. We are presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. And before we get into things, we just want to remind you guys that gambling is for entertainment, and FanDuel always has your back with tons of responsible gaming tools to make sure your play stays fun and stress-free. Check out FanDuel.com/RG or the responsible gaming section in the app to learn more about staying in control of your game.
I know you're gearing up for Thanksgiving. You're hitting the grocery store. You're stocking up on seasonings, maybe plotting your Black Friday pickups. By the way, Black Friday will have one of those. But do not forget, boys, we still got a weekend of college football ahead of us, and nothing goes better with college football than a Bussin with the Boys profit boost token from FanDuel.
Guys, use your profit boost token. Build your college football parlay. Place that boosted bet. With your PBT, you're able to shift the odds for a larger payout, and we've seen some pretty crazy results this year.
For example, let me get a Josh Bate. For example, we've got an 8-leg parlay, 23,984 odds.
That's incredible.
A payout of $24,083.70 thanks to a crystal ball and a Bussin with the Boys profit boost token.
Visit FanDuel.com/Bussin to get a look at this weekend's games and start game planning your parlay today. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Big odds.
You brought in your best friend today.
Yeah, you said it's rivalry week, right?
Yeah.
You said this is the week you throw out all the numbers, you throw out all the data, and immediately I bring in numbers and data, the models here this week. 3-2 last week, could have been 4-2, which we can talk about in a second, but 3-2, I got back over the hump and I leaned on the model last week, but I leaned on it from memory. This week, we got to create some separation.
It's Tuesday also. We usually shoot this on Wednesdays.
Last week, Josh Pate was like, old Josh Pate does this. This Josh Pate's going here.
This Josh Pate is model Josh Pate. And I like that. That's good. You got to switch something up. You've been 2-3 for every single week. And now look at you, 3-2.
I went Moneyball last week.
Yeah, and we could have been. Did you go Pitt or you go Georgia Tech?
No, I went
You
Pitt.
guys went Georgia Tech.
I went Georgia Tech.
I went Georgia Tech as well.
But when you watched the game kickoff, did you immediately have regrets like I did?
When I looked at the game on the thing, I thought the same thing as when the game came on. I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought. And here's another thing.
When the ball kicked off, did you think the same thing I did? Immediate regret? Well,
I got no interest in this.
no.
I got to be honest with you.
I immediately regret this. No. Oh, yeah. Hey, by the way, guys, I got coffees for
bless.
us. Courtesy of Lindsay. But earlier in the week, they're like, hey, we're going to go over SMU. We're going to go over Louisville.
Yep.
So Tuesday night, I got the computer, I got the double chins out. I'm trying to find as much data as I possibly can because I don't have something that I can just plug stuff in and just be like, okay, this is my answer. I got to do it the old-fashioned way.
You should get one of these.
Yeah, I should. I want to get one of them. And I'm like, okay, SMU is my answer. That's where I'm going to go for the game. I wake up at 7 a.m. and I had a text from Clump being like, hey, we're going to go Pitt, Georgia Tech. Are you good with this? Josh and Will already said yes. And then you had a text that said, Josh already said yes?
And I said yes because I just assumed both of you had already said yes.
God bless.
All the while, what was the Clump? What was the logic behind the shift? What was the swerve for?
Microphone.
just felt like, it was going to be a great game and Pitt was going to upset Georgia Tech. So I thought you guys would just be locked in. Luckily, Will did take them money line and did hit the pick. But SMU, Louisville's a terrible game.
I'll tell you exactly what happened. Monday, I go up to him with the sheet and I go, why are we going over SMU Louisville? And he's like, well, there's not a whole lot of great games this weekend. And I go, all right, we can just take it out. He goes, well, then we won't have as many games. I was like, yeah, we'll have 4 games to talk about. And then that was the end of the conversation. And it ends up, I get a text on Wednesday morning.
That is
7 a.m., 2 hours before we shoot the show.
That is exactly how it went down. I'm driving to work and I start sweating as I'm driving. I'm like, man, maybe we shouldn't pick that game. I think he's right. And then I sent the text out to everyone. And yes, sorry.
If we would only had 4, we'd all be sitting here 2-2.
There's nothing worse
Like
than
this
a win.
one, we get rivalry week, we get separation Saturday once again because we have 16 games.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. This is 8th in a row.
Let's just throw darts at a board, courtesy of the Josh Pate model.
I don't know. This is going to be. Listen, we can do this show and it's going to be fun. Week 14, rivalry week. There's only one game on the slate that matters. There's only one game. I'll give a 0.5 as well for Iowa, Nebraska after the way George Kittle treated you on national television yesterday.
Dead mother.
That is crazy.
I'm sitting there. I forget what time it is. Maybe about 10:30 at night, and I'm studying for these games. And I think I'm looking up because I got a lot of fun facts about some of these rivalry
can't
games.
wait to hear
Some good history, and I'm sitting there and I'm breaking down UNC, NC State, trying to find a little nugget. And all of a sudden, my TV's sitting at volume 8. And I see Scott Van Pelt on, and all I hear is like, I know you want to address your buddy from Nebraska. We'll get into that later this show. And I just like look over to the TV. What the? Is he really about to turn it all the way up to 32? Sit there and wait just for him to say it. Just for him, I was like, I know he's going to come with some heat against Nebraska. And George Kittle did a great job. He cut a great promo. That was a WWE type promo.
Which you know he loves.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to say back to George in this moment?
We'll find out come Friday because he's setting himself up in a bad way.
Why is that?
Well, because he's sitting there talking about the Penn State. You guys lose to Penn State by 30, and I'm thinking in my head, you think we practiced 1 rep last week against Penn State? Like this entire focus these last 2 weeks has been on Iowa football.
You guys' scout team was actually just drawn up for Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
What Penn State was to Nebraska last week, it was sort of like the Eastern Illinois to Alabama.
Yeah.
Like your Samford to Texas A&M. It's just a tune-up week.
Yeah, that was a meaningless game, and we approached it that way.
Oh, you like taking the Narduzzi approach.
Yeah, there we go. They could beat us by 100.
Yeah, you don't give a shit about Penn State.
You did take Nebraska as a lock last week. However, irrelevant. Last week's behind us.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Because I'm just a fan.
He still put it in our show.
I'm just a fan. I'm like, yeah, we're probably going to mop this team. And then I find out afterwards, we didn't practice any reps against Penn State.
Because you didn't make yourself the story. You stayed out of their business last week.
Yeah, like I'm going to do me, and I'm riding with the boys all day, 24/7, 365.
The funniest thing you've said throughout this entire Iowa, Penn State doesn't matter is the scouting thing, because Iowa's playbook is about as dense as this. So for you guys to take an extra week of scouting, the same 4 plays they run.
Yeah, and then it's just physicality drills.
They have 3 runs and then 3 more runs and the exact same blocking scheme with the quarterback running the ball.
All they need to do is break one, because that's what they did last year.
That's all they need
They
to
broke
do.
one play. I think it was a screen to the running back. They took to the house. Their biggest play, their only play of the game, and they ended up beating us.
That might be the most boring game, and I don't mean that disrespectfully.
Yeah, look,
it's like you just got to play great defense, and if whoever scores 3 first.
Iowa, Nebraska this Friday's for the sickos. Like
For
they just
it
want to
is
sit
for
there.
the
They want to watch
sickos.
punts. They want to watch defense. We need Nebraska's run defense to show up, because this matchup in the trenches it's scary hours. But
Yeah, because they got a good guard. They had a good guard and tackle that were all Big Ten last year. I think they're like all American preseason as well.
yeah, it'll be fun. Iowa hate week.
Iowa hate week. So I guess there's
They're-
1.5 games that
I know
matter
they're-
on this slate.
I got a couple bones to pick with Josh before we get
Go
rolling.
ahead. Yeah, I'll sit back.
The troll job he did with Lane Kiffen.
A fan of it or not a fan of it?
Not a fan,
Okay, explain to me why.
because I fell for it.
Okay, let's talk. Do you want to talk as if Josh is not here right now? Or do you want to add him in this
We
conversation?
can do that. I look at Josh Pate, and this is my North Star of college football
Right.
information.
You
Data.
hold him to such a high standard.
I've been following this man for 2-3 years now.
Yeah. Don't look
And I've been following that man for 2-3 years now, and I'm in the lore. I'm in his Twitterverse. Like I'm in the I'm in the know
You're
with
a
the
fan.
jokes. Yes, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I see when haters say stuff and I'm thinking to myself, oh, I know what he's going to do here, and he does it. Like, I feel like I know this man's playbook. So when he came out and tweeted, whatever he tweeted about Lane Kiffin, like, I just found out where he's going. All I got to say is, wow, whatever it was. I'm like, if there's one man in this game that would know that answer and then would feel comfortable enough to tweet something like that, it would be Josh Pate. So I'm thinking, this dude knows. So I text him. I'm like, where's he going? Not a response. See him hit the tweets a couple times. I was just like, hey, where's he going? And he hits me with whatever I said on Bussin yesterday.
Yeah. No,
Which
you
was-
read the text.
Let me see here. Just take a minute. I'm looking this up. As I take a minute to look, again, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Make sure you're leaving comments throughout this episode. We're going to have a lot of fun, talk a lot of ball. He responded, when people tell you Lane Kiffin is the world's best troll, always remember, there's at least one better.
Can I ask you a specific question?
Yeah.
Between remember and theirs, is there 4 dots or 3 dots?
4 dots.
Okay.
So you got the same one.
So I saw it, and I have not, like, I've heard whispers about, have you heard of this Josh Pate guy, college football, blah, 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 mostly from you and other people for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But until Oregon versus Ohio State last year, when we met him, and you're like, yo, you got to meet Josh Pate. I'm like, why do I keep knowing that? And you're like, yo,
He had
he's
the
like,
aviators on, was chewing the
he's
big
fucking-
league chew.
He's the dude in college football. You got to meet him. So you like bring me over, Josh. You dap him up. Hey, this is my boy Tim. Hey, good to meet you. And since that moment, I've been kind of following Josh Pate, and slowly but surely, I'm like, I'm not as like in the world of the Twitter sphere, but I watch from afar, and I'm like, wow, this dude really is a man that holds himself above college football. Like, he is like, when college football is in a scary situation, they look to Josh Pate.
But also good enough to know doesn't take himself so seriously that he will get in the gutter with some people
Yeah.
and have some good troll jobs
The
out there.
perfect balance of serious and focused to where a head coach would look at him and be like, I'm going to give this information because I trust him.
Yeah.
But still like turns around as like, is a boy and willing to hang out. You feel a level of comfort when he walks into a room.
Got a lot of influence.
That's the perfect amount of balance. So I saw Josh's tweet. I screenshot it. I said, top 5 clickbait, ... Where's he headed? Eye emoji. An hour later, 4 hours later, sends me a text. When people tell you Lane Kiffin is the world's best troll, always remember 4 dots. There's at least one better.
I just remember like whispering under my breath, this cocksucker, because I fell for it.
Oh,
I'm
you
just like,
thought, okay, you saw the tweet and were like,
well, Coop dropped in the group chat.
yeah, that's,
he's like, oh, look,
that's the
Josh
only way I
Pate.
knew the information.
Josh Pate tweeted like the guy knows now.
Yeah.
I fell for it.
Damn. Do you
Josh.
want to bring him back in the conversation?
Yeah, that's where we bring it back in.
Clump also got the same exact text.
I got a text that said, when people tell you Lane Kiffin is the world's best troll, always remember 4 dots, there's at least one better.
So are you as quick-witted as we think, or you just have a Rolodex of responses?
Listen.
He is, but I'm sure his phone was blowing up right when
Listen.
that moment happened.
It had
It's
to
going
be.
through group chats. Like, everybody's like, he knows.
Yeah.
Worst thing about this show when it airs will be I sent that to like a dozen other people. They will see this, and I will be exposed even further than I've been exposed this week so far. When you're on one, though, when you got a good line, most of the time you give it to one person. I happen to be in that unique position where I thought I had a good one. 400 people were asking me the same thing, and I just copy, paste. Lane himself hit me up. Chris Lowe hit me up. Like a lot of really distinguished, true North Stars of college football hit me up. I didn't care. But when you two hit me, and I realized what I thought was clear sarcasm, clearly a joke, had not landed to the point where both of you took it seriously, that's when I went, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I will say it's like some of those networks, like they might have those reactions, but there's some where they're over on the other side of the line, or they would get that joke when it comes back to you and they're like, oh man, they didn't get it. Like I whiffed on this troll. You got it, everybody.
Yeah.
You got everybody.
It's up to everybody you sent that copy and paste to now to when you send them a message, we just now have to be arm in arm and just respond back. Copy and paste, question mark?
Yeah, so it's my retirement from comedy. I'm done. I'm done
It's
until
over?
2020. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I'm a journalist now.
You missed
I'm a
one.
reporter.
You missed
Yeah,
one.
you're
You gotta
serious now.
you gotta keep swinging. You gotta keep swinging.
Because you don't miss, dude. There's been so many times in this show you've done a joke and it's hit.
Do you think I should miss more so that jokes land?
Yeah.
Do you think that my, and of course I don't take myself too seriously, but do you think that my being above the fray, my integrity, my self-proclaimed authority over this sport worked against me. I think it did.
Yeah.
So I think I need to back off that stuff about 25%, intentionally whiff, maybe that's what I've been doing in every 2 and 3 weeks so far this year, so that I can afford to be a little more loose, a little more reckless, get a little sideways in turn 4, and not everyone looks at the car saying, oh man, is he wrecking?
Yeah.
No, it's just dirt track. I'm doing it on purpose.
It's the hero's journey, man.
Right.
Let me ask you this. You said something in that little monologue there that maybe you've been doing it all along with the 2 and 3s. Maybe this is the new Josh Pate now that we see at 3 and 2. So you have to ask yourself this. Do you want to be a guy that just whiffs on jokes and trolls the whole entire world, but is positive every single week in the gambling? Or do you want to flip it and go 2 and 3 and always be able to read the room correctly?
Can I think on that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is we can sit here all day. We have nothing but time.
My second bone to pick with you.
Oh.
Fall Don't Lie Tour not going to the game, not going to Michigan, Ohio State.
Been-
I saw everybody kind of coming after you too. They're labeling how many times you went to Bama, how many times all these SEC games you go to.
Instead of the Ohio
This
State
is the
games.
only game that matters.
And you got Ohio State, Michigan, that the heat, just how insane this game is going
And
to be.
not-
Everything around it.
The greatest rivalry in sports, but this rivalry is at its peak right now.
No one needs to explain to me how big the game is. For instance, I've been to the last 4, including a couple of years ago when Michigan won in the snow in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
It's a noon kickoff, so you can get back to Detroit Airport and you can get your flight home to Nashville. You see Taylor in the terminal. You say, hey, Taylor. He says, hey.
Oh.
Because he's boarding the same flight as you. You've never brought it up to his face until now. But he just kind of big times you there.
Wait, whoa,
Just he came in, he had that one ready to go.
I zoned out. I didn't catch everything you said because I was pointing out and be like, oh, Jack went to that game, the snow game.
And that's
You're
making
saying-
his point.
You're saying you went to the snow game.
I'm saying you became aware of me, documented earlier today, last year.
Yeah.
But you first spoke to me 2 or 3 years ago in Detroit Airport. You remember it was the same day. You don't remember, clearly. Let me inform you. It
Hold
was
on.
It was the same day.
Is this the snow game?
It's the snow game, but it's the same day as the 4th and 31 Iron Bowl ending, because the entire airport went crazy because we're about to board a flight separately. Clearly, you and I are about to board a flight back home to Nashville, and that Bama 4th and 31 play happened because I remember that was that day. So whatever Michigan-Ohio State game was that day,
Okay, yeah.
it was
'cause
the
you got-
4th and
okay,
31
right
game.
now you have 2 mixed up because the snow game, I had it in my back pocket just now. I did not go to that game. Jack went to that game.
Was that
And that was a-
23?
Taylor was the game that we
I
went to.
know. And then when you said the Alabama, Mitch and I were sitting in the terminal with a bag full of candy after watching the game, watching that 4th and 31? Yep. Watching that 4th and 31 in the Iron Bowl in that terminal. So now I'm back with you.
Was the snow game 21?
Snow game was 21.
I was also at that one.
Okay.
Then I was at 22, and then I was at 23. I've been to the last 4.
Yeah.
I think.
Which, by the way, we can get into how I need to be a better friend to you, even though I didn't know we were friends at that
Right.
time yet. So it's really not my bad at all. You need to go to the game. You have to. If you've been to the last 4,
Yeah.
you have to go to this one.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
What was the energy?
Yeah. What happened?
At the game or
No,
in the
with
terminal?
the- yeah, when you
our
were saying what's up.
exchange.
Oh, I said congrats, and I said, hey, how you doing? You can say, hey, man, appreciate it. Like you would any other stranger.
Do we know each other?
Clearly no.
So So
Clearly no.
So have we met before that moment?
I don't think so.
Okay. So a very handsome bald guy walks up to me in a terminal after my team just won. Was it 2 in a row or 3 in a row?
That would have been 3 in a row, right? That was 23.
Regardless.
21, 2,
So
3,
I'm in a great mood. Mitch, he's a quote unquote Ohio State fan. We get a bunch of candy. I'm like, hey, you'll eat your feelings. I'll eat my happiness. Let's get in here and eat this candy.
Understandable.
And you come up to me. We don't know each other, and you just say congrats. And I say, hey, thank you very much. And
No,
that's
there was
it.
no very much.
Oh, thank you. I say thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Hey,
Like
thanks,
you
appreciate
would
you.
any usher walking by. You just appreciate it, man. Thanks, bud. Pretty sure he brought
you
maybe
blooded
a
it.
Now
pal.
you see your stories falling apart a little bit.
Dude, we could be 2 years down the road right now. We could be 2 further years down the road. We could have
We
had our
could.
first fights. We
And
could
if-
have been 2 years down the road.
If you would have walked up to me and said, Taylor, Josh Pate, great to meet you. And I'd be like, yo, I think I know that name from somewhere. Josh, what do you do? Oh, I'm the commissioner of college football. Like, oh, bro, you're the guy. You're the guy that people keep talking about all the time, and you're on your way up. You're crushing it. Hey, have a seat. You see this 4th and 31 going right now at the Iron Bowl. Why don't you sit? No, get a little closer. Get in here. And then we get on my phone and we sit there, bro, huh? And that's how our friendship starts. Friendship doesn't start with, hey, congrats on the game. Keep walking. Because you tried to play cool. And I would have loved to be your friend.
Here's the problem.
I would have
Neither of
loved to
you
be your friend.
are going to understand this because you're not introverted. You're not introverted. I pretend I'm not on air, but I'm actually introverted socially. So it's just not in my DNA to do
He
that.
claims to be introverted as well.
You're
sometimes.
not. You are not
I
introverted.
believe I'm introverted.
You're introverted? There's
I
no
think
way.
so.
There's no way.
He likes his home time. He likes
don't think
his,
so?
his Will likes to
Yeah.
recharge with himself.
I do. Yeah,
But
I
but
don't like to be around, like,
that's
it's
not being
kinda
an
hard
introvert, though. When you walk into a room, you're comfortable in the center of the room.
No,
if you're going to be
not
in the
all
room,
the time.
I'm never comfortable in the center.
I'm comfortable if I know everybody.
That's when I least like
You
it.
know what we can do? We can take a test. We can do one of those acronym tests. Enneagram.
Enneagram. Aren't those like 150 questions?
8 wing 6. Something like that.
With a moon. Isn't there a moon involved?
There's another one
That's
too where it's
astrology.
like, it's just like the alphabet, and you take 4 of the letters, you put them together, and you got an
That's
acronym.
astrology.
Right? The moon.
Yeah. I got no clue what we're talking about. So you're going
Vir-
to have to run lead on this.
Virgo. You don't know your sign?
I don't. I
When-
know
when
I'm
were
a
you born?
December 7, Pearl
Can
Harbor.
somebody please look up what his
Bro,
sign
you can
is?
bring up
You said Pearl
the
Harbor?
date, the date you were born and location, and they'll have this moon thing that like basically explains you perfectly.
Yeah. You're a Sagittarius.
There you go.
What's his
It's-
what's
hey.
what's his sign in?
I know it's not a new thought, that's not a
What's
new
his
idea.
sign? Is it like a
but when I plugged it in,
no, like there's like a Scorpio's a scorpion, a Leo's a lion, a Cancer's like a crab or some shit like that.
Like Sagittarius is like a unicorn or some shit.
Nah, I think there's a centaur. Is there a
I hope
centaur?
so.
Wait, Will, you were born in September?
Yeah, September 19th, 1989.
Yeah, you were.
Hey, but
Does no one have it? It's a centaur.
a centaur. That's dope.
Yeah, it is.
But you having the introvert conversation with me, I fully understand how you would go, hey, congratulations, that's you really getting out of your wheelhouse and how comfortable you are.
I laid myself on the line.
It sounds like, well, from an introvert's perspective, absolutely.
Yeah.
But if I saw somebody that I knew and that I thought to myself, I'd like to be friends with that individual, I'm also an extrovert. So I would definitely just I'd come up on you.
So as an extrovert, you saw me say hey to you. You received it, but really you ran it through your filter and decided, I don't know if I want
Boys,
this.
say hello to Pat.
Patrick?
Pat, hello.
Hey, tough gout, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's been a hard fought battle.
Dude, right before Thanksgiving, a lot of eating. It's tough for gout to be like this in the
I
holiday
know.
season, bro.
I'm eating vegetables. I'm on the non-Thanksgiving plan right now.
Yeah, but you remember that mental toughness of being a fucking offensive lineman. Vrabel is harding you for this fucking moment to not be able to move or eat during the holiday season.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna eat turkey. I'm gonna have mashed potatoes this week. He's right.
Don't let the fucking gout bully you.
Dude, that's a problem. As I've become a bully, I need to become the bullier.
Yeah, fucking yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Pat?
Hey, good to see you. Hell of a run this season, brother.
Patrick, I need you to do me a favor right quick if you can.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no interest in picking Ohio State in front of my good friend here. So I'm going to outsource it to you for later in the show. Ohio State, Michigan, do you have a pick yet for this weekend?
I can't give you that right now, brother. I gotta go into that place this weekend.
Hey, Pat, you remember our text exchange from last year. Don't make the same mistake. Don't make the same mistake.
I have not been one that has been known to pick Michigan ever for anything.
Done.
What a time to turn it around. You stand up, shirt off, start singing Mr. Brightside. We're going blue.
What a moment. We're in the stadium, we're on the field.
God bless. One and up. One and up. What did he say? What did he say?
He didn't say nothing.
You sure?
Done. Leave it alone.
He didn't say nothing, right?
Leave it alone.
He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything.
He didn't say
He
anything.
didn't say anything.
I heard him whispering, but it had to be. It was probably the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, he
Okay.
didn't say anything.
Fair enough. Here you
It's the connection.
Gotcha. Okay, fair. That's fair, Pat.
Are you on TV this week or no?
No, we're home.
Do you want to stop by today and talk about getting murdered by Kittle?
Absolutely. I would love to.
All right. 1:20 Eastern.
Okay.
Is that
Okay.
good or no?
Yeah, that works. Tell me on right now. Yeah, that'll work.
You have 4th of
Okay, sick. Good luck out there, boys.
All right, brother.
See you, Pat.
See you guys. Have a good show.
I think if we went back in time and I was fully aware of Josh Pate, I would have made a different decision there. But maybe I'm blinded by happiness in that moment. I'm not my best self.
It was the day. So it was the day more than it was me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would say that. Because I love where we're at now, but just thinking the fact that we could be 2 years ahead of where we are now, I can't go into that thought process. It'll just make me sad.
That was a long day too.
Yeah,
It was a long day.
Long day. We had fun.
Got a lot of games to talk about. A lot of games to talk about right here.
You guys got a lot of games to talk about. There's only one game that matters. There's only one game that matters on that entire
Shall we kick it off?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Any more bones to pick with Josh?
I have no bones.
I think we emptied the clip this morning. Glad I wore white. Bleeding everywhere.
I would like to point out, and you guys, no one noticed it, but no boot. No boot. No reason to give a round of applause for that. Fought gout.
You can't do that and then be like nobody do anything.
You guys don't have to. It's called sarcasm.
Did you beat gout? Do you think you beat gout?
No. I think right now, I'm not going to say what I was just going to say, but I think I'm on the mend. Today is Judgment Day. I got Vans on. I woke up this morning, I got out of bed, and I'm thinking to myself, please God, no pain when I put these feet on the ground. And there was no pain. And so I started walking. I was like, I want to put these Vans on. And if tomorrow I have foot pain, there's two answers. One is I can probably never wear Vans or Chucks again, and that changes my entire identity. And two is I'm not out of the woods with gout. Those are the two things that would change.
Smart.
So today's a big Judgment Day. I'll keep you posted in a
Please
copy
do.
paste group chat. Yeah.
Please do. Yeah, copy and paste. We're going to take a quick break and bring you and shout out our sponsor, Form Energy. Form Energy delivers best-in-class taste with natural flavors and zero sugar. Form Energy has natural caffeine derived from green tea and comes in a variety of flavors. Screamin' Freedom, Grape Smash, Blue Blitz, and Orange Fury. Perfect for those who put in the work. If you are somebody who wakes up early in the morning, grinds, gets a workout in, puts a full day's worth of work in, and gives it their all when they come home, you are a Form Energy candidate. Form Energy. We do the work, drink Form Energy. Let's get back to this episode. Here we go. We got the Egg Bowl. Ole Miss at Mississippi State. The line on this game, Ole Miss is favored by 6.5. The over-under on this game is 62.5. We have an announcement happening after the game where Lane Kiffin's going to go. This is about as big of a moment as it gets for Ole Miss. They're going to keep their head coach after the game's over. Has all of this drama. Is it going to affect this Ole Miss football team who's sitting there prime and ready to go for the college football playoff? If they win this game and Lane leaves, does Ole Miss, what's the playoff look like for them?
Right.
People are kind of saying they want them out of the playoff if they don't have Lane Kiffin.
Which is crazy. I mean, regardless, that's still a playoff-worthy roster, is it not?
That's a great Josh Pate question.
Look, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think that's more talk than something the actual committee. I mean, do we really think the committee chair is going to get on the TV on Sunday and say, we did like this team, but now that they haven't lost a single player, but their head coach is gone, if he's gone, by the way, then sorry, it's over. You're dead. Bye.
Right.
Welcome home, Brigham Young. Just as an example. Do we really think that's going to happen? I don't think that's going to happen. What I do think is it's going to be a moot point, because I do think Ole Miss is going to win this game and cover, because I kind of view Mississippi State as out of gas, which of course they would want to have said live on air or recorded, whatever we are today. And I know it's going to be in the hype video, and I know it's going to be shown around the building. That's okay. I'm down for providing fuel for an entertaining game Friday. I just don't know that we're going to get it. I think Ole Miss, they haven't been a victim of the distraction like other teams have. Other teams have had their head coach in the headlines and whatnot, and they faltered down the stretch. Ole Miss has just gotten better. And Lane would tell you, hey, it's because my locker room's kind of unaffected by this. Like, my players are zoned in. They know they could go anywhere year to year too. So it's not like the old locker rooms. It's kind of a new age locker room. And I know he said that at his press conference yesterday, and a lot of people scoffed at it. You can scoff at it all you want to. Look at their results. Their results kind of bear out what he's saying has some legitimacy. Maybe it's just an Ole Miss thing. Maybe it's just a Lane thing. I don't know. I think they're going to win and cover. So I'll take Ole Miss. I'll lay the points. And the model agrees, for the record.
I'm going to also take Ole Miss for the distractions. I mean, Lane Kiffin, everybody in the world could have packed it in. That locker room could have had all the distractions in the world and have a reason to drop a game here and there, and they haven't. They've just gotten better. I think it's competitive for the first half, and then Ole Miss just really puts the gas on, and it's over in the second half.
Fun fact about the Egg Bowl. Started in 1944. It is the 10th longest uninterrupted series in the United States.
Don't you think it's strange that we were smack dab in the middle of World War II as a country, and somewhere in Mississippi someone said, we got to name this bowl game. We got no one here to play right now, but we got to name this bowl game.
Why the Egg Bowl? Why?
I've known that answer. Do you have it? Fun fact?
No, I was it was mainly just Wikipedia pages. Didn't they call it like the golden egg?
Something.
Yeah, I
like
don't
that.
know the reasoning behind the naming of the egg. You know what I mean? Did the chicken come first? Did the egg come
Right,
first?
yeah.
Let's just go
As
with the egg
is
here.
this rivalry game name. No one knows the answer, just like the chicken or the egg.
And I would say that's the biggest storyline around this game this week is what's the origin story of the rivalry game? Lane, if we got time, we can get to that, but really we got to get down to more pressing matters.
I'm taking Ole Miss -6.5. I think that is what an opportunity Lane Kiffen has to become an absolute legend. I like to believe. I've went back and forth with all the boys around the shop. Like, is he leaving? Is he staying? I'm putting a post. Hey, you got everything. Why move the goalpost? Then it's like I hear that the NIL, the money depth is way more at Florida or LSU. Ole Miss is working to make it as perfect. They've given him everything he's wanted. Ole Miss puts out a statement. He's going to make a decision after the game, after the Egg Bowl concludes. Then you got another leak that comes out on Sunday or Monday where it's LSU. Was it LSU has $90 million or was that one Florida? Either way, there's a leak coming out saying all this money's there. They're prepared to offer him this deal. And part of me just wants to believe that Lane Kiffen is dragging everybody along. And he's going to choose to go to Ole Miss after they win the Egg Bowl. He's going to choose to stay home, and he's doing everything he can to drag LSU and Florida along because they are opponents in the SEC, and he wants to set them up for as much failure as they can feel before these dominoes fall. And he goes back, he stays home, he stays at Ole Miss. Like, what a legend this man could be.
I love that.
But if he goes elsewhere, in the ugliest way possible, in the worst way he could have possibly done it, he will have ripped the hearts out of the chest of Ole Miss, that fan base, that school.
There's no way he's getting out of the situation without heartbreak taking place.
Right,
Somewhere.
but
it just depends on which heart he wishes to break.
There's an easy story right here for him to just be this hero.
Yeah.
It's true hero villain right here.
And being a troll, I mean, the second best troll according to Josh Pate's copy and paste text, by him dragging along LSU and Florida, like, this is the best job you can possibly do. Get these guys to believe, and then National Signing Day is what, December 3rd? December 2nd at 11:59, announce that you're staying at Ole Miss?
Yeah. Go as far as to even after the Egg Bowl, or maybe right before, whatever. He just lets Florida and LSU know. He tells both of them he's going. He's going to.
I like that.
League's happening this Saturday, boom, staying at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
How about this? I had a vision now. So if we're right, if Ole Miss wins and they cover, let's say they're up 10, they got the ball, Mississippi State's got no timeouts, 55, 54, 53, they're taking knees, they're pouring the water on the sideline. What if the cameras caught him drenched, high-fiving everyone, and you just saw him go like that right there, and then put his phone away? And then 2 hours later, it was reported, Pete Nakos on 3 Sports, Lane Kiffen sent a group text, or maybe a copy-paste text, to both Florida and LSU moments before the Egg Bowl ended, informing them that he's staying at Ole Miss. And you go back and you look at the footage, and you realize he sent that text before the clock hit 0.
That's beautiful. That's Lane Kiffen texting me.
No, it'd be nuts. I am interested to see what decision he is going to make.
Do we want to go on record as predicting where we think he's going to go? I of course know, but do we want to go on the record as predicting?
Yeah, you start.
I wrote it down. Makes you say, wow, huh?
Do you mind? Yeah.
You're going to...
Yeah. All right.
Is it what you thought?
I want it on record that
No.
I'm predicting he stays at Ole Miss. I want it on record.
Before or after I showed you what I just showed
Either
you?
way, that's where I was going before, and I got to stand 10 toes down.
Okay. A lot of people have been saying that.
Right?
Quite the flip right there.
A lot of people have been saying
that
that.
individual and then he.
The old bait and switch.
The old bait and switch.
And hey, the job could be open.
Oh, I think that job is 100% open. 100% open.
All right. And Scout's Honor, we will all be honest about what we had predicted next week when we have an answer.
Yeah, I'll keep this card.
Okay.
We have a second game on deck. We have Alabama. We got the Iron Bowl. Alabama at Auburn. The line on this game is Alabama -5.5. The over-under on this game is 47.5. A fun fact to lead this thing up. Their first meeting was in 1883. And in the early 20th century, Birmingham was the leading industrial city of the South in production of pig iron, coke, coal, and manufacture of steel.
Booming
which
city.
led them to name it the Iron Bowl.
Yep.
We know the name of that one. We know the origin story of the Iron Bowl.
Played it in Legion Field for a long
Do
time.
we want to get Garrett up here? Maybe give a couple words?
If he's prepared, if he's ready to go.
Sorry, do we want to get Garrett up on the mic? Garrett on the mic.
What's up, boys?
Hey, Garrett.
I'd like to put it out there that I think Lane Kiffen is going to stay at Ole Miss as well. I think he's dragging Florida and LSU to deep waters, just for the
Let's
bit.
hope that's the
But
case.
for the Iron Bowl, we all know what this game means. This is a win and in for Alabama. You also have to walk into the most voodoo place in the entire world. Auburn started it last week by starting a true freshman, Deuce Knight, playing the mind games. They also announced, this could be true or false, but now they're saying that they're going to start a different quarterback for this game. So the head games have already started. We know what we have to do. Will said it last week or a few weeks ago for the Oklahoma game. They got to wake up. They didn't wake up. Taste your own blood again. Hopefully this is just belt to ass like it should be, and we get in, and then we take care of business from there. But big game this weekend. It's probably the biggest game that's coming up this weekend, especially on Saturday. If you're a college football fan, you know how big this game is. It is the biggest game in college football every single year. So roll Tide.
Wow.
Well said, Garrett. A lot of people believe that.
It is a great game. Like
It's a great game.
When you guys were talking about your first meeting, like that 4th and long, Alabama Auburn,
4th and 31.
that 4th and 31, that was a true like where were you moment.
The
When that went
field
down.
goal that Auburn returned for a touchdown.
Yes.
Like they've had some iconic moments in this game. And
And
it's
it
true,
being
like,
and just the in-state rivalry aspect of it
yeah,
all.
the in-state rivalry, who's going to own the state.
Yeah.
And Alabama for so long has been so good, and Auburn's had these like weird peaks and massive valleys. But even when they have these valleys, it's like a competitive game, and it comes down to like this last play at some points, and it's exciting. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I think there's a lot of people in the South that are really excited about this football game. I think Alabama's going to cover. I think, the voodoo games and mindsets, Deuce is playing, now he's not playing, he freezes out. Who's going to be the coach there? Everybody wants Lane Kiffen. There's no way Auburn's getting Lane Kiffen. And I just think Kalen DeBoer has fully understood the expectation and what he needs to do, especially if this is a win and get in game. Like if they lose this game, their season is over.
Yep.
And they are done. And I think that alone is enough to propel you into a lot of times Alabama, when they've fallen, they've been undefeated. They're sleepwalking into a game. They've kind of steamrolled everybody. They have the old Nick Saban teams. This team knows like if we don't get this done, then everything we work for is just a wash at this point. And so I like Alabama in this game to cover -5.5.
Yeah, season's a failure.
Yeah,
like this is
season's a
they
failure.
have so many things on the line. Season being over, you're playing for a conference title appearance, you're playing for a college football spot. This week is all hands on deck, and in the Iron Bowl where the juices are already high, now it's even higher for Alabama. I got them winning and covering, and I like the Alabama Crimson Tide.
I'm looking
Is
at what the
Auburn going to
model-
ruin their season?
Well, they can. I think the Jordan Hare Stadium voodoo stuff works against Alabama, but not in the way people think. People think, oh, that place is haunted. I've been to like a dozen of these games at Jordan Hare Stadium. I'm well aware of what they're talking about. And Bama hardly ever performs well down there. But if you think about it, all right, if voodoo was real, if black magic was real down there, the last 2 times Bama's gone down there, they have actively reached into Auburn's chest, twisted their hand, and pulled their heart out.
Indiana Jones.
That never would happen if you were cursed in that building.
Yeah.
So I would argue maybe the dynamics changed. Maybe the talk should be, is there some kind of extra hurdle psychologically Auburn's got to overcome? Auburn's got to clear in their own building. No one said that this week. That's the way I would be thinking if I were tasked with providing the motivation, providing the talking points and the bulletin board material. But we're just tasked with picking the game. So I'm looking at what the model thinks because I brought it along with me this week. Model loves Alabama.
We got to get one of those.
Got to get one of those.
Christmas right around the corner. Models got Bama winning by 10. I think this number is low for two reasons. The Oklahoma game, firstly, has really made people look at Alabama as maybe a little wobbly, with good reason, but minus 3 turnovers in that game, which is a stat from a predictive nature that we think is randomized. And then the other part of it is what we just talked about. There's this thinking that, Jordan-Hare Stadium, like rivalry week, that's a different game for Alabama. And so those two aspects have brought this number down to where I love it. I think Alabama, you laying the point to win and cover there by over a touchdown, I think it's great value. However, that is all contingent on them starting relatively fast. Like, they don't need to be up 14-3. They just need to start decently. No early turnovers, not that situation where like Auburn's got a 2-to-1 time of possession edge going into the half, because then you're out in the deep end. Doesn't matter what a computer model says. Black magic, voodoo is real. But if they get out to a decent start, yeah, I like them, because I think Auburn's ability to score is going to be pretty limited, because the hidden aspect of all this stuff is Bama's defense has played really well. And as much as, one quarterback looked good, Deuce Knight last week, I think this is Ashton Daniels' game. I think that was always the plan down there, is to sit him for, I think it was Mercer last week, sit him for the Mercer game. It's essentially 2 weeks to prepare for his Super Bowl, for Auburn's Super Bowl. This is really what they have to play for. They're trying to play spoilers, the beauty of rivalry games. I think DeBoer and Alabama will go in there and get the win and cover.
I love it.
He's in Alabama as well?
Yeah, I'm taking Alabama as
so we're
well.
all aligned at this point.
We got Texas A&M. This is a big
one.
Texas A&M at Texas. The line on this game, Texas A&M is favored minus 2.5. The over-under on this game is 51.5.
What does the model think?
Model thinks the number is almost dead on the money. We got A&M winning by 3.
Okay.
And that's
By the way,
Austin.
no real fun facts on this one.
Oh yeah.
I was doing my best here because obviously Texas A&M leaves in 2011 or 2012 to go to the SEC.
Right.
That's when the game kind of stopped. It was played for a
It's
while.
the first time it's being played in 13 years.
Yeah.
Except for last year.
Yeah, they played last year.
They played last year?
Yeah.
But in Austin.
But they did have a long span when Texas was
fucked up.
when
My fault.
when Texas was in the Big 12. They were trying to get it back like in 2018. I want to say the Texas student body had a vote for how much they wanted to play A&M. It was like a 96% favorable, we want this game back. And they did the same thing in early 2019, I believe in February, with A&M. That favorability was like 86%. There's this gentleman from San Antonio, a rep in San Antonio that was trying to write a bill, didn't get, it kind of died. The governor stepped in, he was trying to get a bill to pass, it kind of died. But then once Texas joined the SEC, the rivalry's back and well. So they were trying, the student body, they were trying to take it into their own hands. In like, again, around 2018, it was kind of dying out. They couldn't get any widespread traction on it. But now that they're both back in the conference, we're getting this beautiful game. And with the implications, Texas A&M being undefeated, who have they played in the SEC? People are asking, myself included.
Nobody. They say nobody.
Texas on kind of a hot streak right now with Arch Manning, like throwing the ball around the yard. We'll get into that, but this game is huge because Texas is going to be out there. Hey, we got a 3-loss. We got a resume that shows that we should be in the playoff. That's going to happen. I love the chaos aspect of that. And also, is Texas A&M, can they beat one of these, above toward the top SEC teams? Because who have they beat? Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida, Arkansas, LSU, South Carolina. I'm strategically leaving Mizzou out of there. Mizzou's a 3-loss team, but Mizzou is kind of their best win.
Backup quarterback.
Yeah, Mizzou, yeah.
So where are you going?
I'm going Texas.
Okay.
I think this, and I'm going to go Texas money line. I like Texas a lot this game. I like Texas a lot. Arch Manning, here's a fun stat with Arch Manning. In his first 7 games, his first 7 weeks, 4 of them, most of them, he threw for under 200 yards. Since throwing for 132 against Kentucky, starting game 8, he's thrown for 346, 328, 251, and 389. He has 11 touchdowns and 2 interceptions and at least 30 attempts in each game. He's threw over 40 a couple of these games. And again, in those first 7, he only hit 30 attempts twice. So they're letting him throw the ball around. The problem is Texas A&M does have, the highest sack percentage in the country. They will get after him a little bit. They're solid in the trenches. They have a good offensive line, good D-line. It will be tough, but I love Texas money line here. I think this is the first loss Texas A&M is going to taste, and then there's going to be a little bit of question mark, a little bit of doubt about this team being a top 4 team in the college football playoff. They'll have a chance to prove it in the SEC championship, probably against Bama. I think A&M loses that game as well.
Wow!
That's what I'm
so
kinda
you're saying Bama's frauds.
A&M.
A&M is
I don't
frauds.
think A&M's frauds. I just don't think they will maintain this level that everybody sees them at.
Right. So
Like I think they're a great team.
overvalued.
They've had, yeah. I think they're a great team.
You think an inferior schedule has propped them up a little bit?
Yes.
Wow.
making them a little fraudulent.
Making them, in that aspect of the top tier, a little fraudulent. But I'm not saying like this is a pig with lipstick. Like they're not a good football team.
You just
I do
think
respect the
they're
resume that
not
they
as
have.
good as people say they
Yeah,
are, making them frauds.
Again,
They
with the
say them
schedule that
frauds.
they've had, if you look at a preseason, this is a tough schedule. But now the way the year's played out, I'm like, all right, I feel like I have a couple question marks with A&M. They've earned the right to be in all these conversations. They've earned the right to be undefeated. Marcel Reed's earned the right to be in the Heisman conversation. But I just have a little question mark about Texas A&M, and I think it starts to get exposed against Texas this weekend.
You asked me one time, how do you sit there and talk about college football alone for an hour and a half? I feel like if we weren't here, you could have gone another hour on this game. I've never been more proud of you. We're recording early in the week. You prefaced this entire prediction by saying, I really got nothing on this game. Actually, let me just slip a few things in there. And it's 5 minutes later, it's 7 minutes later. I know the origin story. I know Arch Manning's last 4 games. I know the political scene in the late 2010s in the state of Texas and how this game was tried to get back, but then the governor stepped in. I don't even feel like you exhausted all your notes. I still feel like you got bullets in the chamber. You made a really good pick on the game. You just exposed Texas A&M as total frauds.
while also saying they're not frauds, but then explaining why they are
I'm not
frauds.
saying they're not frauds. I'm just saying there's nothing about them that's real.
Yeah.
I hate everything about it. Not frauds. Respectfully, they can die this week.
Not only will they die this week, they're also going to die next week as well.
This week's not good
Pick
enough
the
for you.
championship game as well.
See ya. Will A&M still be in the playoff?
Yeah.
Don't know.
A&M's going to lose their next 2.
Jeez. Okay.
Marcel Reed, he deserves to be in the Heisman conversation, but he's going to lose these next 2 games in a big way.
If you thought the South Carolina first half was something, wait till it plays out over 4 quarters. So, with the utmost trepidation, could I take Texas A&M to win this game and cover? Could I just present the counter argument?
Absolutely. What's funny, before you do say that, I was looking at you. I kind of went from Taylor to you, and just in the background, it caught my eye when you just that random shot that went to South Carolina. I just see JP in a blur in my vision, just shaking his head back there.
JP's the king of like sitting out of my sight, and I just hear him multiple times
feel
on the
it.
show. That's crazy. Making loud lip smacking noises. Like JP's the king of like just having a soundboard behind me.
Because when
And so I
said-
know exactly how JP feels that the show is going at all
He's
times.
like an
throughout the
actual,
show.
is like
Yeah.
like an actual audience member out there, to where he's giving you reactions and everything else. He's got what is
when Josh was talking to me about whenever the airport situation, I'm explaining my side. I just hear JP go, "It's crazy."
That's wild, dude.
Wow.
He always,
Wait to hear him just go quietly go, "What?"
and he's not mic'd, so
Sit back
you
there.
can't hear him on the feed because he's not mic'd. We hear him, but when I dropped the South Carolina line, all I heard was just the deflation. Okay, the way I look at this is, I've said like in 5 different A&M predictions on the show this year, I've said, man, I love that they've won different ways. They've won like a 17-6 game or something like that against Auburn. They won the 41-40 shootout against Notre Dame. So they had, like, all seriousness, they had that terrible first half against South Carolina, came all the way back. So they've had to come from behind. They've had to win the slugfest. They've had to win the shootout. This kind of game's where I think that pays off. Like Texas on the road's really, really iffy. Texas at home's a good team. So you got to go in their building. You've been skating on thin ice, it feels like a little bit, but you've kind of made it. But what you're worried about is the Oregon thing from last year. What if they're this year's Oregon? What if they peaked really early and then they fade late? Which is a valid concern. I think that Texas has 3 losses for a reason. And when I have a team that I think has multiple ways to beat you, including that pass rush, I know that's going to travel, and I know that can give the Texas offensive line fits. And I think there may be a world where we watch this game, if A&M wins and covers, where we say, man, like that first half against South Carolina sucked in the moment for them. It may have been the best wake-up call. It may have been like the jumper cables to the nipples, which you need sometimes.
Gotta
You
have it.
need those sometimes. And I think that was what that game was. So I think they're going to go in there, not an easy win at all. 4-quarter game. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to cover, and they're going to go to Atlanta. If we'll see where you go. If I'm wrong, if you're right, I don't think they go to the SEC championship game. I think the tiebreaker is Georgia would go. I believe that's how that works.
Is that correct? Is that true?
for SEC guys? Is that
Yeah.
So if
it gives
A&M
that-
loses, Alabama wins.
BYU's never come from behind conversation
Right.
that we get checked on real hard. So we got to make sure that is
Hey,
correct.
Clump,
Boy,
can you look?
that's-
Can you look that
that's
up?
a flashback.
Hey, that was murky
Didn't like
waters.
that. I would gladly take the airport snub over getting
Yeah.
a Brigham Young fact wrong.
Because American Primeval, we know what they can do.
We found out.
We found out
that was a
quickly.
documentary all
Yeah,
along.
yeah.
Oh,
So
for-
Josh, if
all right, we
Georgia
got it.
wins, Alabama wins, and A&M
irrelevant.
loses.
Georgia's irrelevant. They're
okay,
done with their
Georgia's
conference
irrelevant.
schedule.
Okay, because it's not a conference game.
It's
But if Alabama wins and A&M loses,
Alabama wins, they're in. Georgia's in if Alabama loses and A&M loses. Ole Miss is win, Alabama loss, A&M loss. Texas A&M is win or Alabama loss.
How did
Ole Miss.
Georgia?
But-
how did Georgia and Ole Miss have the same outcomes?
To be clear, you
Ole
said
Miss, Georgia's in if they win or lose, but they need Bama and A&M to lose.
they need both of them to lose.
Correct. A&M needs to win, or if they lose, then Alabama needs to lose and Ole Miss also needs to lose.
okay. So
Does that make sense?
if Bama wins and A&M loses, it's going to be Bama and A&M.
Lost.
I don't know. I
Do you
think
want-
that
do you want
the
to-
explanation.
could get in if they lose, as long as either Bama and Ole Miss also lose.
Okay, so A&M could still get in if they lose, as
And
long
Bama
as
loses.
Alabama or Ole Miss loses. Okay.
A&M is in with a win or an Alabama loss and Ole Miss loss. So they need both of those things to happen. So in other words, if Alabama wins the Iron Bowl, they're in. If
And A&M's in no matter what.
A&M is in if they lose, if A&M loses, then they need Alabama and Ole Miss to lose to get in. So like this would be if, let's just walk this through. So
Walk that,
if
walk
A&M
that.
loses to Texas
Brain damage.
and Alabama loses to Auburn, it would be A&M versus Georgia, I believe.
So who's in the SEC championship if Alabama wins,
Alabama's in automatically if they win.
A&M loses?
That would be Alabama versus Georgia, it looks like to me. Yes, that's correct. It would be Alabama, Georgia.
Chaos.
But honestly, if you think about it, if you're A&M, and I'm saying that they would lose the SEC championship in this hypothetical world, you're sitting there as an 11-1 team, not going to the conference championship game, waiting to see what unfolds
Yeah.
with the college football playoff. You're kind of in a better situation.
Yeah. You're not. Yeah. You don't have to buy, but
Unless, without a doubt in your mind, you're thinking you're going to go in and win the SEC championship, which I'm sure A&M fans do believe that.
Think about if Ole Miss wins the Egg Bowl and Bama loses the Iron Bowl and A&M loses to Texas, Ole Miss is going to Atlanta. We're not even talking about whether Lane's going to coach the playoff. We're talking about whether he's going to coach in the SEC championship game. Also, Mitch, you've got a really important email from the Flag Football Committee. So you might want to check that.
I'm gonna go A&M. I think I have to look back at the records, but I think every time I've bet against Texas every time,
Yep.
and I've been successful every single
Texas
time.
or A&M?
Except for I bet on them for I bet against Texas, and I've been successful,
Okay.
except for their Red River rivalry.
Shoot up.
Yeah. So I'll take A&M. I'll take A&M. I'll take Reed. I love all the things you said about how many ways they've won.
He's fourth in the Heisman odds at FanDuel coming into this week.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I got to have him make his move. Diego
Oh, that's
Pavia
what
made
you-
his move last week.
Diego Pavia has an opportunity to make his move this week. I think he has a chance to cement it if
Yeah.
he goes off, because they've turned into a bit of an air raid offense. Go ahead and introduce the next game with them.
Yeah, speaking of Pavia, we got Vandy. We got ourselves a game, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We interrupt this episode to bring you the Bussin with the Boys Profit Boost token. If you don't already know, the boys have a Profit Boost token available every college football Saturday. That's a profit boost on any college football Saturday bet. Just open up the FanDuel Sportsbook app this Saturday and look out for the Bussin with the Boys Profit Boost token. Vanderbilt at Tennessee. The line on this game, Tennessee's favored by 2.5. The over-under on this game is 65.5. Just a little fun fact, because I thought this was a fun one.
I'm actually enjoying the fun facts. I didn't think I'd like it. Now I like it.
From 1892 to 1927, Vanderbilt, when this game, the inception started of it, Vanderbilt went 19-2-3 against Tennessee. Then Tennessee goes and hires a gentleman by the name of, do you know? Or Chef? Or do you know? Do what? We're talking about in 1926, Tennessee hires this gentleman named Robert Nealon to, quote, even the score against Vanderbilt. And when Robert Nealon was the head coach at Tennessee, because there's a couple years he took off, but he'd come back, Robert Nealon went 16-3-2. I don't.
War.
I told you
for
guys.
the war.
They were starting rivalry game names in Mississippi.
Amazing.
Coaches were going off to war.
Oh, yeah. Do you think, what's crazy is like.
The year he
anytime you
took
bring up
off,
these
they'd
old
lose to
stats-
Vandy.
Yeah, which makes you wonder, did he regret it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's crazy is these stats that you give, talking about how like 1900s, late 1800s, like boys were men.
Yeah.
And now it's 2025 and we're sitting here talking about college football. This is our job.
Is
And
it
how,
okay
like,
to
men back
boo
then-
a kicker publicly?
Right. I borderline cried 15 times in the last 3 weeks because of gout. These guys are going to war and working in like steel mills.
Their
mills.
wars are manning the front line. Like there's
Yeah.
cyber wars going on right now, and we're sitting comfortably in this
And
studio.
we're just kind of hoping everything works out.
Yeah.
We have no idea. But there's wars taking place right now via the internet.
Yeah. AI,
Crazy.
man.
American primeval.
Never more real.
That's
Never
real.
more real. Diego Pavia, if he has a massive game against Tennessee, he will win the Heisman.
It's going to be there to be had.
It'll be there to be had. Tennessee, Neyland Stadium. We were there for the Tennessee-Alabama game. It was probably the loudest environment I've ever seen
Same.
in college football. Diego Pavia, like he's taking the world by storm. His mom's out there grinding on a pole during a game, going crazy. Like the whole Pavia family is just going nuts. Theo Vaughn has found himself in that situation. I've been watching film with Vanderbilt, and I used this a few weeks ago, and I doubted them.
The boys were in here yesterday, and they're like, "Are we just going to watch film and you're just going to pick Tennessee?"
I've been watching film on Vandy, and let me tell you, these boys have never been more screwed
I'll say
than they
this,
are this week.
There's a lot of MAs on film, but I don't think there's a group of offensive linemen that play the game harder than these five guys do. The transition they've had Diego through the air the last couple of games is the reason why I'm taking Vanderbilt to cover this game plus 2.5. I think they're going to win,
Oh,
but
Jack!
wow.
I think Vanderbilt's going to cover.
Well, can I ask you a follow-up question?
And you already picked Michigan on the bus
And I've retroactively changed it
because your feelings got hurt. That's not your true feelings.
because Michigan is going to get dominated.
Anger is a mask of pain, is a mask of sadness, and you're sad right now, and that's okay. Onward.
Go ahead, buddy.
You're mad at Clump. Like, be mad at Clump. Go ahead.
Tensions are high right here, Josh.
You better pick Tennessee.
I got to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
If Vanderbilt wins, they're 10-2.
Do they make the playoff? Is your question?
That's my question to you.
Not if Michigan beats Ohio State.
Oh, wow.
Is that the scenario?
I think it's a part of
It's
it.
a
right?
scenario.
Yeah, there's going to be a 10-2 team that gets let out. Or
I
not.
know, but it's so. There'll be a lot of these teams that are like 10-2. Will have these,
Miami.
have their arguments. Miami,
Brigham
Notre
Young.
Dame, Brigham Young.
You
if
know
they
what's going to
lose.
happen if they don't get put in.
American Primeval. But we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Like even if Ohio State beats Michigan, Vanderbilt being a 10 or a 10-2 team, there's still a few different scenarios to where they don't make it. I think they're going to be pissed. I mean, they're going to be in a bad spot. They're going to be in a bad spot.
Yeah. Wow.
Who you taking in this game?
Tennessee's laying 2.5. Is that the number we're going with? Model's got him winning by 3. I believe last week I was very scared for Vanderbilt. Like Kentucky's made a lot of noise. They'd won 3 in a row. Kentucky was quietly one of the hotter teams in the country that no one was paying attention to. And then you're looking on Instagram and Diego's everywhere but Nashville. And you've got Clark Lee involved in every job but the Vanderbilt job. And I'm worried about distractions. I'm worried about focus. They put the laser on Kentucky's forehead last week. There was never a doubt in that game to where, Tennessee just got a big win over Florida. Florida, dead body of a team. So they just went down there and beat on it for 4 quarters, and that was fun. That was a nice tune-up. I thought I was going to solidly beat Tennessee here. As I walked in this morning, I'm only very slightly Tennessee. And if I'm only very slightly Tennessee, and Diego's mom and Theo Vaughn, everyone's riding over there, and a playoff spot's on the line, for all I know, Vanderbilt's never going to be in this position again. I'll go with you. I'll take the points. And Vanderbilt to win outright. I can't believe
So
I just did
Tennessee,
this.
so just so Jack can hear this, Tennessee can win still, and we would still be right.
Sure, 27-26,
So what
yeah.
we're picking, Tennessee, there's still an option where Tennessee wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just said right before you said that, he says, I got Vanderbilt winning outright.
Oh, well, that changes everything. There's
You-
no way-
you are taking
can't
Tennessee to win and then
Tennessee
Vandy the
can't win
points.
if you take Vanderbilt outright.
You heard that, Taylor, right?
What's that?
Jack is geared up, ready to go.
Geared up.
Look, Jack, I do love you.
Okay.
And I'm a fan of Tennessee football. I truly am. In this game, I'm rooting for a story. And the story that I'm rooting for is Vanderbilt over these last 2 years coming on the scene in college football and becoming a team you have to respect.
Yep.
And the only guy you can think about when you think of Vanderbilt Commodores, you could be on the East Coast, West Coast, you hear Vanderbilt, it's Diego Pavia. And this dude right now is sitting in the top 3 in Heisman because he has about 3,000 passing yards, over 600 rushing, 34 total touchdowns, and he's set up for a moment to walk in Neyland Stadium, one of the most hostile stadiums in the country. For an in-state, probably isn't like seen as much of a rivalry. This year it feels like a rivalry because Vanderbilt's a good football team. And Tennessee doesn't want to walk out of that stadium thinking they just lost to little bro down the road. Diego Pavia becoming the Heisman in this moment, having a game, whether it's anywhere 3 to 5 touchdowns, having his moment where he becomes the hero. Vanderbilt becomes this story to where they're kicking in the door for the college football playoff. They might still be waiting on the outside. But that's the way I would love to see them in the year. To see Pavia end his career, to see potentially Clark Lee before he goes off to somewhere else. Not saying it's going to happen, but that is a potential. And what Vanderbilt's done over the last 2 years, I'm rooting for that because if I look at Tennessee winning, Tennessee, they want to win because they just want to beat down. They want to beat on their little brother.
They want to keep the status
There's
quo.
no real thing beyond this game if Tennessee wins. And for those reasons, that's why I'm going with Vanderbilt here. I'm going to take Vanderbilt. I'm not going to take them to just cover. I'm going to take them to win outright because I'm rooting for the story of Vanderbilt football, the city of Nashville, and Diego Pavia to win the Heisman. Because I think it'd be all time.
And the point of thing you said, like after this season, Clark Lee most likely leaves. Diego Pavia goes to the NFL, and I think everything kind of resets back to where it was.
There could be a clump he's in the gutter now with recruits and everything
Yeah,
else.
there's a
There
five-star
could be a
quarterback
five-star
who may or
quarterback
may
that
not
look at-
commit to Vanderbilt.
And
But
who-
does he stay committed to Vanderbilt if Clark Lee goes and takes a head coaching job somewhere else?
And all
Probably not.
to say, if this five-star if say they have an awesome recruiting class, say it doesn't reset and Vanderbilt continues to be a respected team in the SEC, it's going to be because of Clark Lee. Who's the other guy that they bring? Because everybody talks about Clark Lee, but who's the guy that also came with Diego?
You got Tim Beck.
Tim
you got
Beck.
Jerry Kill.
Jerry Kill.
Yep.
Jerry Kill,
Wasn't
Clark
Jerry Kill in
Lee.
Minnesota?
Yeah, he
And
was.
it'll be because of those coaches and Diego Pavia put them in this conversation. And they'll get to carry on. That's legacy.
That's a legacy.
Yeah.
I'm
Where
rooting
you're
for the
laying it out
Vanderbilt
is
legacy.
you could watch the Olympics or you could watch WrestleMania. But if you want the story, you're more likely to see it when you're watching WrestleMania. Like you want a WrestleMania ending instead of an Olympic ending. I mean, the Olympics is real sport. The Olympics, it could get sideways. A guy could win by 10 stride lengths. You want the story.
Yeah.
And the story would be Vandy climbing the ladder in Neyland Stadium and grabbing the belt with everything on the line. And you forced Big Brother to play spoiler and they failed in their
Yeah.
own building.
Yeah.
You want that.
In Neyland Stadium, too. That atmosphere is going to be electric, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna be awesome.
So, yeah, that's where I'm rolling, boys.
Onward. The game.
Oh, this is it right
The
here.
greatest rivalry in all of sports. Do you believe that?
I will say yes.
Yeah.
I will say yes.
All right, we ended up this episode to bring you True Classic. Listen, the True Classic Pima t-shirts, the last 2 weeks I've been in hell. I've had gout, I've been in pain. And anytime I'm feeling so down on myself, I go take the Pima True Classic t-shirt, I put it on, and I'm like, at least you have this t-shirt to make you feel better about what's going on underneath everything. True Classic, you can find True Classic at Amazon and Costco, Sam's Club, and Target nationwide, or online at trueclassic.com/Bussin. Look good, feel good, play good. Every Saturday's got games, but only one fits just right. This is the True Classic game of the week. Number 1, Ohio State. At number 15, Michigan. The game, Ryan Day versus Sharon Moore. Ohio State, I think it's 9.5 now. But it says in the card here, it went back up to 10.5.
Tuesday morning, we're recording this.
All right. Ohio State minus 10.5. Total points in the game is 44.5 points. Two teams, incredible defenses, one offense. They've got 2 aliens on both sides. This game, this is 130. Do you have?
Can I do have a fun? I was even going to try to interrupt you. Hey, can I just get a
Go
fun
ahead,
stat?
go ahead. Like, I'll spoiler, I'm going Michigan money line. Like, we can do the pump up things all that I want, but this game just means
These
everything.
two teams first met in 1897. They've played annually all but once since 1918. The one time they didn't was because of the COVID year. I have a few COVID stats that are coming up with these games.
Go ahead.
This game's been played at the end of the regular season since 1935. And in 2000, ESPN ranked this game as the greatest North American rivalry in sports ever. Those are my stats.
You got it?
Yeah. I wish
I'm
the South kind of has some of these fun little tidbits and stories. I feel like the Michigan, having all these games since like 1918. They played annually every year.
Are you familiar?
Every year.
Are you familiar?
Over
with
100 years, bro.
I know. This is the 136th meeting between these two teams.
Root beer was made in 1919.
Root beer was made in 1919. Thank you,
Is that true? Is
JP.
that real fact?
Same year that my grandma was born.
Same year. Hovey, last name Hovey?
Yeah, Evelyn Hovey.
Evelyn Hovey, the same year that Evelyn Hovey was born, 1919.
Incredible. Are you familiar with the 10-year war?
The
Michigan versus Ohio
years.
State.
What decade was that?
This
What
is
years was
19,
that?
This is 1969. Bo Schembechler, it's his first year at the
Right.
University of Michigan. They're ranked number 12 in the country. They go in against the number 1 team, Ohio State, against Woody Hayes. Woody Hayes is the head coach
Some
of Ohio
good
State.
years.
Bo Schembechler, his mentor was Woody Hayes. And so he left to go to the University of Michigan. They were, I think 13.5-point underdogs in this game. They go to Columbus. They have 6 interceptions in that game, and they end up winning that game. And that is like the first spark of what turned into like the 10-year war that really set like Ohio State and Michigan off onto like this hated, crazy rival. Like in that time, Michigan, every time they run out of their stadium, there's only one way in and one way out in Michigan Stadium. You've been there before. And they hold up the M Go Blue banner. And every football player runs, they tap the thing. Ohio State comes out first and they tear down the banner during this time. Like that type of way. Ohio State beat the shit out of Michigan one time, and instead of kicking the PAT, they go for 2. Woody Hayes in his press conference after the game, they say, hey, why did you go for 2? And his answer was, because I couldn't go for 3. Like that's the type of pettiness and the hate that's taking place in this game. Like the last 4 years, Michigan has won this game. Before that, Ohio State won 18 out of the last 20. Is that a correct stat?
Sounds about right.
18 out of the last 20. Your boy was part of one of those wins. Like, this game is everything. And as much as you hate Ohio State, the reason why there's so much hate on both sides is there's a level of respect. Like, last year I sat here with a shell of words saying we're going to go in there, they're going to shock the nation, we're 20.5-point underdogs, end up being correct in that. But in that moment when you don't have a passing game, it's like, I'm kind of just saying things and staying in the batter's box for my team. They end up winning that game, going after Ryan Day. Like Brian Hartline, it's his first year being the OC. He's done an incredible job recruiting the wide receivers. They're wide receiver U. They have Jeremiah Smith, Cardinal Tate, who are top 5 picks in this NFL draft. Are they going to play? Are they not? Jeremiah Smith does a podcast every single week. His podcast that came out yesterday, he said he's going to play in this game, which is what you want to keep this rivalry intact. There's so much that rides on this game, and it's not just like this year. If Michigan wins this game, they make the playoffs. And if Ohio State wins, it's like they finally have done something that has taken their national championship away in a lot of ways. People, every time when they won the national championship, they go to celebrate. Everyone's like, yeah, but you couldn't beat Michigan. You can't beat Michigan. And against a team that had no passing game, made you play their version of football, and you won, and you cannot beat them in a toughness battle, trenches battle. So now Michigan's a better football team than they were last year. We have a quarterback that has gone on Rich Eisen and said that you've never seen a quarterback like me, goes up to LeBron James, says y'all never going to win again. He's had a up and down year to say the least, but our passing game is much better than it was last year. They bring Matt Patricia from Ohio State. Their defense is number 1 in all of college football. And buddy, as much as it seems like this is Ohio State, there's something about the winged helmet and Ryan Day and his ability. He gets men in blacked. His brain goes crazy. And this is, I'm just telling you, there's not a whole lot of things you can say, we have this better or we have that better. But this game, at home, this is Michigan. This is Michigan winning this game. There's a world where Michigan wins this game by multiple touchdowns. Whew. I mean, Julian Sand, is he not a freshman as well?
Sure is.
Yeah.
Well, he's a first-year starter. Yeah.
He's a first-year starter. He's a redshirt freshman. Has he had his freshman game? Has he played in the game before? No. Like there's
I mean,
a
he's in
world
the Heisman conversation.
He's in the Heisman conversation. 80% completion rating. However, he's got 2 aliens. Like there's a world where he just fucks up. The same thing goes for Bryce Underwood. Like this game could go crazy on both sides, but this game leans Michigan, regardless of what the line says.
I think he finds out the experience of this game, but opening freshman quarterback, opening with Texas, well, obviously seasons played out how they played out, but that feeling and moment that he had there, I think he got a taste. He got a taste of where it's not, this won't be the first time he's feeling something like that. It'll be the first one because he's experiencing the game
Ohio
for
State,
the first
Texas,
time.
it doesn't even come close to Michigan, Ohio State. This is like, you said 2005.
I understand. I'm just talking about for a
greatest
freshman.
rivalry in all of sports.
Talking about for a freshman walking into their
every
stadium.
day, winter, spring, summer, you don't go a day at Michigan or at Ohio State without hearing like we have to beat, in Ohio State's terms, the team up north. They're too scared to even say our name. Like there's a ticker in the weight room that counts down to the second when we play the game. Like you are told about it over and over and over again. You can't step in these buildings and not spend a couple hours there without hearing about the team up north or Ohio State, any of this stuff. It is, dude, it's everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything. We should have won it in 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. The line is what it is. If you guys want to go, I'm not going to hold it against you guys for the sake of your record or whatever. Like, there's no bad blood.
That's bait.
No, I swear to God.
Josh has bait.
I swear to God. Because I know your computer is saying the number's just right now. So it's all good. This doesn't have to be a trenches game where I need everybody behind. Like this is, you guys pick whatever you want. We've seen how the last 4 years have gone, and I expect it to stay the status quo for the last 4 years. I'm not joking.
I'm taking Michigan with the points.
Okay.
Respectfully. Because I am rooting for Michigan. You're my guy. I want to see this. Like, I would love to see Michigan upset Ohio State again because as a third party, getting to watch this hate between both fan bases unfold, it's so entertaining to me. And if it happened again, like, oh my God. I think about Ohio State, and they're an incredible football team.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of last week, the performance you guys had against Maryland, I'm thinking Michigan, like this game that's about to happen, Ohio State's going to blow the doors off of this team. The way you guys played last week and the momentum that's shifting towards this game, I do believe that Michigan has a shot to win this game. It's so hard to not sit here and think about the victory laps, similar to a few weeks ago when we were talking about Alabama, Vanderbilt, when the minute they beat Georgia, there's not even celebration happening because they can't wait to get their paws on Vanderbilt because of all the circles that Vandy's been taking around Alabama. This one feels wildly different. You got kids at schools reenacting the scene of planting the flag in Ohio State. Like Ryan Day, like for the ego of Ohio State to get involved in last year's game and try to win in a certain way physically because they knew Michigan couldn't run the football and they wanted to kind of prove a point versus like going out there and just winning the game and playing to your strengths and playing Ohio State football, them walking away, losing that game. This is a game that's haunted that entire team. You know, obviously for the last 4 years, but most importantly this last year, I do think Ohio State is just licking their chops to try and put both hands to get both hands around Michigan's throat. But I'm riding with you. I'm taking Michigan to cover, but just to caution Michigan fans, this Ohio State team, in my opinion, is going to come out differently. I can't wait to watch this game because, again, I want fireworks. I want chaos. I would love to see Bryce Underwood have a game because he had a stretch here before this past week where he didn't throw for a touchdown in a few games. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd love to see him have a moment because he is a specimen of an athlete. Like, this running game continue to improve. Like, going against an incredible Matt Patricia defense. Like, again, people kind of have a question mark with Ohio State. They have an easy cupcake schedule. They've taken care of business against the spread. They kind of handled all these football teams. I think the biggest thing that it's hard to just it's hard to talk about a team defensively, but this defense is for real. I'm excited for this game. Michigan with the points. This is going to be electric. This is going to be electric.
Ohio State, the best rush offense they've played all year was Penn State, and they're 60th in the country.
There it is.
Michigan's top 10.
There it is.
Yeah.
I mean, We have 6 freshmen starting on offense. We don't have a player on our roster that's ever lost to Ohio State. And at Ohio State, they don't have a player on their roster that's ever beaten Michigan. They don't know the feeling. Like you're talking about hands around the throat. Like Alabama knows what it's like to choke out Vanderbilt with one hand. Ohio State doesn't even know how to even go about the process to beat this team. They don't have any player that knows how to do that because they haven't in 4 years. To the point where Jack Sawyer, seniors last year who could have gone to the NFL, multiple, stayed for their senior year because we have to beat Michigan. Michigan has 18 guys get drafted by the NFL. We cannot throw the ball, and they still lost at home.
Mm-hmm.
They can't figure it out.
The opportunity's there.
And the thing that makes this game amazing is, Michigan's won the last 4. Ohio State wins this next one. It's like, you guys are the king of the castle right now. And there's not like, I will sit there with my shell of a self and say, yeah, but we won the last 4, but it won't mean anything because the last game that was won by Ohio State. And that's just how it is. There's not like you don't own.
But with this fan base, it never stops.
It never stops.
Like if Ohio State wins this game, it ain't you're the king of the castle. Like it'll keep going that way. But then it's Michigan. Like if they can't win the Natty, they'll be back. That's what makes this rivalry awesome.
It's beautiful. So many 5-stars gonna be at this game, Clump. God bless.
What do you got on this game, Josh?
I didn't say a word. I sat here 10 minutes. Beautifully said. I didn't need to add anything, but I could put my thumb up to my pulse right now, and it increased a little bit. You know how when you're sitting down, you can feel your heart rate? So I feel it right now, with good reason. Everything you said about this game, beautifully, eloquently put, it's spot on. I grew up in the South. I watched this game from a distance, but I didn't get to experience it until 2021. I've experienced 4 of these. Every one has been a Michigan win. Some say I'm responsible for the streak. I don't say that. Some say that. I don't say that. So I've said I have a Michigan problem. This has been the Michigan problem. I've picked against them 4 years in a row. I've had really, really good logic, but last year was the one that really messed me up a little bit. Because last year, if you put yourself in the shoes of Ryan Day, of Chip Kelly, of Jim Knowles, like you got a all-star cast of coaches. You've got all your players returning. You got an all-star cast of players. You've got home field. You've got sun, like weather's not going to be an issue. I remember the forecast was bad earlier in the week, and then it clears up and it's sunny at kickoff, so that's not going to get in your way, and you're favored by 3 touchdowns. That was supposed to be like an afternoon that was a coronation. It was supposed to be an afternoon where, Buckeye fans kind of came together. We're going to have a fun 4 quarters in the shoe. We'll beat Michigan. We'll finally get the stupid little streak out of the way, and then we'll go on to the playoff. When the game started to unfold last year, the way it did, and then you're still like it's a close score at halftime. But I was in College Station because I was going to the Texas game, and I'm thinking to myself in the hotel room, they're going to pull away in the second half. Like good for Michigan though for making this a fight.
And I'm sitting there at halftime like, hey, this has been amazing, but Ohio State will probably pull away in the second half. Like every logical person in the world thinks that.
Because you hadn't played a great game. Michigan didn't even play a great game. That was the thing I took away from it is Michigan clunked their way to a win as a 3-touchdown favorite, which meant Ohio State, there was something mental at that point where they really couldn't get over the hump. And when that game went into the fourth quarter, pucker meter goes 8, 9, pucker meters at 10, and then you throw a pick down near the goal line. That's supposed to be ball game. Michigan got close. This was a way bigger scare than we thought it was going to be. But Jack Sawyer picked it off. That's why you're a senior. That's why you come back. That's his moment. He just defined his legacy. This team's about to define their legacy. 3 and out, Michigan gets the ball, a couple of key 3rd-down conversions, kick the field goal, Ohio State's done. I've never been more shocked. I don't think, given the circumstances, given the stakes, I don't think I've ever been more shocked watching the outcome of a game. And then I had to go on air the next day because I had picked Ohio State for the 4th year in a row, and I had to own it. And I swore to myself that day, don't care what the spread is next year, don't care what the dynamics are, I will take Michigan. I've never wavered off that. I don't care. I could give you 37 reasons why Ohio State should win this game. I could have given you 57 last year. I will no longer be proven wrong by Michigan winning this game. If I'm going to be proven wrong, it's going to be because Ryan Day and Ohio State, frankly, do what they should do. So I'll take Michigan to cover. I'll take Michigan to win the game and have no problem doing it. 82% chance of snow in this game Saturday.
82% chance.
High of 30 degrees.
And two,
That's Michigan football.
and because Ohio State, they've been wildly successful. Like, again, they'll be in the same position again next year, I'm sure. But losing again to Michigan for a 5th time in a row.
That's a half decade.
We own them then.
It's truly become a game where, throw everything out the window. Like, you don't know, like, there's this team, now you can start talking about curses. You can start talking about this, that, and the other.
Oh, I've already started.
Nobody can wrap their mind. Yeah. But again, if it happens again, I don't see how you get out of it.
Kiffen to Ohio State.
Kiffen to Ohio State.
Maybe just a straight up trade.
There was a coach, Cooper.
Like, do you think Ryan Day being fired gets brought up again if they can't beat Michigan?
Which is crazy, and I'd love for
Crazy.
you to talk about the article you read. But there's a coach from Ohio State. His last name is Cooper, I believe.
John Cooper.
John Cooper. He had an incredible record
Good
at Ohio
coach.
State. Incredible. He went 1-4 against Michigan, and he got fired because the standard is to beat Michigan at Ohio State.
Yep.
He lost his job because he had 9, 10 win seasons, couldn't beat Michigan, and he got fired because of that. Ryan Day's record versus Michigan, 1-4.
Yeah, man.
He could have after this week the worst record of any Ohio State coach.
There was an article last week that was essentially, it was breaking down Jim Tressell's record and then how Urban Meyer takes over at Ohio State. Urban Meyer does what he does at Ohio State, and then the whole Ryan Day being on third base, like, he's taken on a program where who knows if he's going to live up to the standard. And the article basically proving right that Ryan Day didn't live up to the standard. He exceeded it and created a new standard for how much he's won at Ohio State. But yeah, even that, like, for fans who, I think we're talking way too much about this game.
They don't get it.
And yeah, they don't get it, or they just hate. And I see that, like, I understand that world where you just hate seeing the Ohio State fans and Michigan fans and all this pompous back and forth arrogance. They're all hating each other, saying X, Y, and Z. If you can just remove yourself from that and see this game for, this is the best rivalry for, you never know what's going to happen. With all the history behind it, the 10-year war, coaches truly, like, it would get brought up. It will get brought up. Michigan beats Ohio State this weekend. Like, hey, do you fire Ryan Day? All because you can't beat one football team
I'm going to tell you.
that everybody across the board hates. They hate each other.
I'm going to
Hate
tell
each
you.
other.
I don't, like, years from now, when I think back about the 2024 Ohio State team, it would be impossible for me to think about the national title without thinking about the Michigan game.
Right.
And you could come back at me and say, well, do you say that about any other team that lost a game? No other team plays a game like this. But Ryan, I have sat every spring. I go to Columbus, Ohio. Every spring I sit face to face with Ryan Day. The past 4 years, I've asked him about this game. The past 4 years, he's looked me dead in the eye and says, that's part of being the head coach at Ohio State. If you can't beat them, that's part of it. I gotta wear that. I've got to accept that. Like, I'll give him credit. He's never run from it. Like, he's never ducked it. So he gets it. That's part of being Ohio State when you commit there. You know Michigan's on the schedule every year. You know what the dynamic of that rivalry is. They don't take kids that don't get it, nor do they at Michigan. So, like, it fundamentally alters my viewpoint of your season if you lose this game, no matter what you do the rest of the way. And I know, like, a lot of Ohio State fans tried to comfort themselves because they went on to win the national championship, so they tried to, like, devalue the impact of the loss. If it were Michigan in that position, Ohio State fans will be saying the same thing I'm saying right now. So it's just the logo that you're wearing on the chest that makes you take the respective side, because you know good and well if you're an Ohio State fan and you've run up 4 in a row on them, but otherwise they're rolling, and otherwise they went on to win a national championship, you'd be the first ones to say, couldn't beat us though, man. I mean, what does it really mean?
Right.
If you can't win your biggest game, but then there's this man-made playoff, because this game, God created this game. Man created the playoff. Okay, so you can't win the game that's natural. You can't win the game that's been there since the dinosaurs roamed the earth, basically. Yeah, I mean, we created this college football playoff, and it's really corporatized, and you play it in, like, these sanitized neutral site NFL environments. Good for you. You got a third chance. You lost 2 games because they expanded the playoff. You got another shot, and finally, your third time around the merry-go-round, it clicked for you. But you couldn't beat us. You'd be saying that to Michigan. If you were an Ohio State fan and you'd lost 4, or you'd won 4 in a row, you'd be saying that to Michigan. So I'm just telling you my viewpoint on it. I grew up in Harris County, Georgia. I had no allegiance to either team. it fundamentally impacts my view of a team when they lose this game, no matter what they achieve the rest of the way. That's how big the game is.
That's
Hell
gonna be
yeah.
awesome.
I can't wait. I cannot.
And I
wait
just
for
want to
this.
give advice, like if you're up there, and if you're an Ohio State fan, you're a Michigan fan, and you win the game, congrats to you in advance. If someone says hey to you in the airport, chat them up a little bit
Yeah,
afterwards.
chat them up.
You never know when
Even
a
if
new
you
friend
don't know them.
could be around the corner.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get into the rest of rivalry weekend with this rapid fire-ish segment. We have, 11 games?
Yeah, we just got 11
we're about
games to
talk
go.
about?
Just hang there with us.
All right, first one up.
Do you want me to go through them?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Michelob Ultra. Superior is worth playing for. Right now, the record is I'm up. Is it 7-6 or am I up? I'm up 2, right? 8-6.
I think Taylor's up 2.
I'm 8-6
Whoa,
against
whoa.
Will.
I think it's 9-6.
Time out.
Oh, you thought it was tied.
Well, this one means everything.
Now it's time to take. He's healthy now. Now it's time to take the governor off on this one.
Oh yeah, now you gotta take me out.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the whole I'm going this?
No, because that one, it's like again, we were talking potential surgery. We were
We're
talking
talking potential death.
Hey, yeah. This could creep up to a
I
start.
could die.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
This one,
so
you're healthy. You're walking.
What is the record? 8-6. So right now 8-6. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra.
Yes! I needed that one. Hey, Superior's worth playing for. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, first game up, we got number 4 Georgia at number 23 Georgia Tech. Georgia is 13.5 point favorites, over under 59.5.
So this game is considered clean, old-fashioned hate. In 1891, the first known hostilities with these two programs, Georgia, the University of Georgia, their school's magazine declared the colors to be old gold, black, and crimson for Georgia. And then there's one of their first coaches, his name is Dr. Charles Hurdy, felt gold, the coach for Georgia, felt gold was too similar to yellow and that yellow symbolized cowardice. Georgia Tech chooses old gold and white as like a slap in the face to Georgia. And then after their game in 1893, 2 years later after this magazine and choosing the old gold and hey, it's cowardice, Georgia Tech chooses old gold as one of their colors to slap Georgia in the face. They play in 1893. Georgia Tech wins and Coach Charles Hurdy, the coach for Georgia Bulldogs, removed the old gold from their school's colors.
You don't see that
Officially.
anymore.
Gotta have that.
You don't see teams changing their colors anymore after a loss. It's a shame.
1893.
I love it. I'm so glad you went through and did this while George Kittle was body bagging you on that.
yeah, I know.
That fires me up.
I'm taking Georgia.
I'll take Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia in
I'll
this
take
game.
Georgia 13.5.
They're playing this game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yes, they are.
To give Georgia Tech $12 million extra dollars. The trade-off is going to be Georgia's going to win the game and cover. And they may be right back in that building the next week to play a conference title game.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
ACC, man.
Next game, number 13 Miami at number 24 Pitt. Miami 6.5 point favorites, over under 50.5.
You boys take it. I got to do a forecast check right quick.
I'm going to take, so not a whole lot of fun facts. This isn't like Miami's rivalries is Florida State. Pitt believes they're in a rivalry with Penn State and Notre Dame. So these two schools playing, this is just an ACC game. I'm going to take Pitt to cover here, plus 6.5.
I'm 1-1 betting against Pitt. We're going to find it on Saturday. I'm going Miami, minus 6.5.
Carlson Beck, big game. Big
Carlson.
game on the line. How's he going to be in these big games?
Game.
So everything's on the line from Miami here. We saw Notre Dame go up there and handle Pitt. We've got temperatures in the mid-30s here, slight chance of afternoon snow showers. We're going to watch Miami in frigid conditions with their season on the line. Just went up to Virginia Tech and handled business. Second consecutive road game, 7th consecutive game they're playing. I've had this one circled all year. I've been worried about them, but I will take Miami to win and cover.
Next game, Arizona at Arizona State. Arizona 1.5 point favorites, over under 48.5.
Known as the Duel in the Desert, they play for the Territorial Cup. It's the oldest rivalry trophy in college football. It's been known to have a lot of different nicknames. The Battle of Arizona, the Grand Canyon Rivalry, not to be confused with Northern Arizona and Southern Utah.
It's because I was just about to say that.
Okay,
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Desert Wars, Cactus War, the Phoenix and Tucson rivalry. The reason it was called the Phoenix and Tucson rivalry was due to both schools being located in the state's two largest metropolitan areas, with Arizona State being in Tempe, Phoenix, east suburb, and Arizona located within the Tucson city limits. I have Arizona this game.
I'm taking Arizona State. Coach Dillingham, I ride with you, brother. Also, Charlie Regal.
Yeah.
Have you heard about Charlie?
No.
I was watching one of the games the other day, and they're like, someone was stepping in as a special teams coach. Apparently, Charlie Riggle is having health issues. He's had to step away. I called him, texted him, no response back. So I have no idea how Charlie's doing.
Oh, damn.
But
I hope he's all
that's
right,
heartbreaking.
man.
Yeah.
You speak highly of him. You've told some good stories
Yeah.
on Bussin too with Coach Riggle.
I'm without Charlie. I'm not in the position I was in football. So definitely. Big
I think
fan.
the wrong team's favorite here. Arizona State's going to win this game handily.
Ryan, can you get another coffee, please? Guys, one of those little black boys.
Next game, Clemson at South Carolina.
Little
JP
black
will
boys.
be in attendance. South Carolina is -2.5. Over under 46.5.
The Palmetto Bowl.
State tree.
It ran uninterrupted from 1909 to 2019, making it the second longest continuous rivalry in Division I football, only behind Minnesota and Wisconsin. And why it stopped in 2019? COVID.
Yep.
Minnesota, they have a trophy game against, I think, everybody.
It's Floyd of Rosedale against Iowa. It's
Yeah.
the greatest trophy in sports.
No, it's not.
It's the only trophy I've got on my set.
South Carolina
We can get you
taking them to
Bussin
winning
Bowl
cover. People have died in this rivalry, by the way.
It's the way it should be.
JP.
Like they do the tiger burn. Is it called tiger burn? Tiger burn, and then they do a mock funeral for the cock. And in 2007, in an ocean house, I want to say they were doing the tiger burn. It caught fire, and people, there were casualties.
Could I just
2008, did they do it again?
I believe they switched it to tear down the tiger tear down, or something like that.
I'm glad they got back to burning
Do
it.
what?
Then we switched right back.
Yeah. It only happened that year when that happened. They're like, all right, let's just do the tiger tear down, and then the next year they went back to the tiger burn.
Probably lost, huh?
We won in 2009, lost 2008.
Okay.
Wow. Terry Bowden, right? Tommy Bowden. You have never really lived until you've listened to one William Compton dead serious talk about a funeral for the cock, and then you glance over and Clay Matthews' mouth is wide open.
Oh shit, Clay's here.
It's just what? They had a what for a what?
Yeah.
Mock
Fun
funeral
fact
for a
about
cock.
Clay, you know he went 6-0 in our NFL show?
I noticed you weren't clapping.
Well, you took a lot of favorite money lines, so no reason to clap. I'm going to take South Carolina. This is a ride with JP. This is you ride with your boys.
Yeah. Do you feel like you owe it to him? Because I feel like I owe it to him.
I don't. I think, do I owe you? I don't owe him nothing.
I owe it to you. I love you. I've said some things that make you deflate. I've said some things that make you go, man, what are you talking about? I'm picking South Carolina to win. Shane's got to have this. Clemson's been hot, but that's okay. People thought they were last year. South Carolina will win this game at home. They will defend the cockpit.
Also, I don't know if you heard Jack in the corner here. This is insane.
This is insanity.
It's way different. It's way different.
Will, did you
Jack.
give your pick?
It is.
what?
Did you give your
Vanderbilt,
South
Tennessee
Carolina.
is not a real rivalry. It's not a real rivalry.
pick? Next game,
It's a rivalry just because Vanderbilt's good this year. Tennessee
Florida
mops
State.
them.
Florida State at Florida. Florida -1.5 favorites, 51.5 over under.
These two teams first met in 1958 and have played every year except 2020 due to COVID.
I'll take Florida.
I'm going to take Florida State.
Wow, you like what you've seen from them lately, huh?
Yeah, I kind of like it a lot. And just knowing, there's just also a bad taste in my mouth with Klump and this Florida bullshit and his fandom and trolling, and they got mopped by Tennessee.
That's a
you
good
know,
point. Fuck.
I'm just taking Florida State.
You know, we've
They
seen.
played on Friday last week. This is the punt, fumble punt,
Yes.
all
Oh,
that.
yes. Worst special teams exchange
They're
ever.
dead. Yeah, I'll take Florida.
You're going Florida. We've seen some coaches sign extensions. Like Luke Fickell signed his extension, and all of a sudden Wisconsin starts winning games. So they did announce they're going to bring Mike Norvell back. The statement essentially read, "We can't afford to fire you yet. We're going to let you hang around one more year." A little more wordy than that, but that was the gist of it. The model, for some reason, and I don't know why, has this as like a 60% cover probability for Florida State. So that reason and that reason alone is why I'm tailing you, because I feel terrible about this. Terrible.
So this game, I wrote down all the spreads and everything else. This game right here, I have both teams circled.
Yep.
Because I'm thinking, what are we
I
gonna
actually
do
think
here?
you
But then
should put
Klump
a-
came to my mind.
Maybe put an X through both teams. But I'm so tired of this game not mattering. This game should be a huge game.
I know,
Florida
man.
State, I'll take them.
Next game, UCLA at number 19 USC. USC -21.5 over under 59.5.
So I searched far and wide for a fun fact on this game, and this is all I got. It is annually anticipated as the biggest college football game in the state of North Carolina.
Oh,
North Carolina? All right. Wait. You talking about UCLA, USC?
UNC? Oh, was this UCLA, USC?
Yeah.
well, hold
Oh,
on.
my fault.
Hold on.
My next one on my look right below.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right below Florida
Yeah.
State. Right below
That's
Florida
exactly
State.
when George
yeah, this
said,
is
yeah.
when George came in and just
And we'll
shocked
just-
the world with me. Yeah. What the fuck?
Uh,
So which one is this?
UCLA, USC. Before you give a,
I
he ain't
got nothing on this team.
I'll
I've
take
got nothing on this game.
I'll take the Trojans. I'll take the Trojans to cover
Let me
this
see
one.
if I circled anything.
Much different team at home. Such a dominant team at home.
There we go, another one. UCLA, USC, both circled, so I don't really. What's the model think on this?
UCLA plus the points. Thinks USC wins comfortably. UCLA plus the points. If it's 21, what are we getting? What number are we getting?
21 and a half.
I'll take UCLA
I'll
plus
take
the
UCLA.
points. Yeah.
I didn't realize it was 21 and a half.
UCLA plus
They're
the
still going to
points.
win, though, by 2 touchdowns.
UCLA plus the points.
Now, Will, North Carolina at NC State.
Oh, hey,
NC
hit it
State
again.
The
minus 7.5.
biggest game in California annually here.
I searched far and wide for some fun facts on this game, and this is all I have. It is annually anticipated as the biggest college football game in the state of North Carolina.
Wow.
Let's see what I got here. I don't have anybody circled. I have on the right, I have under written out. I'm taking the under.
48.5 is the over-under.
This is actually one of my favorite bets of the week. I love North Carolina plus the points.
I'll take North Carolina plus the points.
Yeah.
Next game, number 5, Oregon at Washington. Oregon is minus 6.5, over-under 51.5.
The Cascade Clash, the fight for the forest. They play for the John Barrett Cup. It is one out of 25 of the most played rivalries in football history. Started in 1900, and in 1911, a quarterback by the name of Wee Coyle executed the bunk play.
Yeah,
the
good duel.
bunk play where he took off his leather helmet, his leather headset, hid it under his shirt, and pretended that was the ball.
And that's why we
They
wear
got him?
helmets.
You got him. They got him. They
Think
got
replay.
him.
Last week, I said that Oregon, Dan Lanning, does not make a habit of covering. He's heard us a lot on the show. He obviously proved me wrong. Texted him solo, said, hey, good win, way to cover. Just thumbs up it. So I will take Oregon minus 6.5.
What's the model like here? 'Cause
Model
part of me
thinks-
kind of likes Washington.
Model thinks the number's about right. Jed Fish's name is out there for some jobs. Just FYI, it's a little quieter. But Jed, if I'm going to mention Lincoln Riley's name, I got to mention everyone's name. Only to be fair, Jed Fish's name is out there. I think Oregon kind of, like the downhill momentum thing is real with them. This is a tough trip up there. I think defensively they're going to limit Washington enough. I'll take Oregon to win, and I'll take them to cover anything under a touchdown. And I will say, I sat in Oregon's team meetings Friday, and a lot of the talk that people like you have been doing about their inability to cover. It's been heard.
Oh, good.
It's been heard.
Love that. I'll go Oregon as well. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Next game, LSU at number 8, Oklahoma. Oklahoma minus 10.5, over-under 36.5.
No real history here. Fun facts, Oklahoma minus 10.5.
Okay. My notes here say Oklahoma minus 10.5.
I think Oklahoma will win by 2 touchdowns. LSU season's completely mailed in. Half their players aren't playing. And, they got to go to Oklahoma for this game. I don't even think they're interested in making the trip. The newness has worn off. The little interim coach sugar high has wore off quickly. I'll take Oklahoma. LSU may not score 10.5, so I think Oklahoma covers 10.5.
Is this one of your favorite bets of the weekend?
It's not one of my favorites, only a 52% cover probability, but I personally like it.
Okay.
Free
Next
my boy
game.
BK.
He's free.
Free my boy.
I know I talk about my dad that way all the time.
Second to last game, Virginia Tech at number 17, Virginia. Virginia minus 9.5, over-under 52.5.
Is this a chaos game?
I like a chaos game. I like Virginia Tech here to cover.
Any notes?
No. That's bullshit on me.
I'll ride for chaos. I'll do Virginia Tech to cover.
I'll take Virginia Tech to cover. I think Virginia wins by about 6 or 7.
Final game.
30.
Iowa.
The Commonwealth Clash. So what's referred to as?
The final game on the slate,
Wait, you don't have anything
Iowa
else?
at Nebraska. Iowa minus 6.5, over-under 39.5.
Under looks good. Under looks good. So does Nebraska to cover. Fun fact about Iowa, Nebraska is people can stand in both states by straddling the line in the middle of the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge over the Missouri River.
Whomst amongst us hasn't?
Fun fact.
Who was born in
there's
Missouri?
50 states that are connected, and you can probably do that in most of them. Straddle a line.
But not on a bridge.
Yeah, come on now.
Not on a
the
friendship
bridge.
bridge.
Not over the Missouri River.
Have you heard about the Four Corners?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who was
You
born in
said
Missouri?
4 states. You were born in Missouri.
What's Willie C's record against Iowa
As a player,
as a player?
3-1.
2-0.
2-0.
Nebraska plus 6.5. Nebraska money. You just like last week. Nebraska money line for Willie C. For the people out there, everything else going on. Nebraska to cover.
Will is 1-8 betting with Nebraska this year.
But 2-0 against Iowa as a player.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was a stat
unnecessary.
that Clump just whispered in my ear.
You know Clump. Clump's in deep water with this whole entire company right now.
How am I 1-8? What's my one?
What's my one?
I think it was Michigan.
Which one did I win?
No,
Oh,
you
you
guys
took
were
money line.
favored by 2.5, and you guys won by 3.
Dog of the week, you got Nebraska plus 1.5. Lock.
That a boy.
Well, listen, I'm gonna get.
Will, Josh, what do you pick? Or Taylor, Josh?
They covered against USC.
Trenches. Oh no.
One last foxhole.
This is it, man.
I'll climb in with you. Nebraska.
You ain't
hey,
a Nebraska
but
guy.
hey.
You ain't a Nebraska guy.
Give me Iowa. Lay the points.
All right.
No, I can't do it. Give me Nebraska. You're undefeated against them as a player. Give me Nebraska. 56% cover prop. Give me Nebraska.
Oof.
6.5, right?
Yeah.
Give me Nebraska.
Okay, I'll take Nebraska as well. Because, boys.
Yeah, Iowa.
Yeah.
It's Iowa Hate Week.
GBR. That's the show.
Great show.
Great show.
Great show.
Big Hugs, Tiny Kisses.
We
Leave
talked-
comments.
We talked about a lot of games. There's only one that matters.
Happy Thanksgiving. Travel safe today. And let's win them all this weekend.
Let's win them all.